I was holding a champagne flute. I had no intention of drinking when his aunt laughed at my shoes. She didn't whisper. She wanted witnesses. Some people don't understand standards, she said, scanning me like a bad investment. I smiled, calm, quiet, present. The room pulsed with gold light and cheap confidence. My sister glowed beside her fiancé, blissfully unaware that the air had sharpened around me. His family clustered close, peacocking titles, dropping names, flexing salaries like credentials. They spoke about the company as if it were a god they served faithfully. Promotions, access, influence. I listened. I counted breaths. There was a time I believed in rooms like this, in people who shook hands and meant it. I met him years ago when ambition still felt romantic. He admired my focus, my restraint, the way I planned 3 moves ahead and never announced it. We built something together, or so I thought. Late nights, quiet wins, trust forged in pressure. I let him in because he seemed careful with the truth. That was my mistake. The change came softly. Fewer questions, longer silences, praise that sounded rehearsed. He stopped asking for my opinion, but used my ideas anyway. I noticed how meetings ended without me, how decisions were made elsewhere, then handed to me like favors. I didn't confront him. I watched. The evidence arrived without drama. A forwarded email. A contract draft with his name where mine should have been. A private message congratulating him on a role he hadn't earned yet. I felt the sting. I swallowed it. Control first. Emotion later. I didn't rage. I audited. I mapped the structure. Every shell company, every proxy signature, every clause designed to obscure ownership. He thought complexity meant protection. He forgot who designed it. I let him feel successful. I let him celebrate. I let his family attach their pride to his borrowed power. Then my sister's engagement invitation arrived. I saw the symmetry immediately. The timing was perfect, public, polite, devastating. I arrived alone. No entourage. No announcements. Just a tailored suit and a calm expression. They mistook my silence for irrelevance. His uncle lectured me on loyalty. His cousin bragged about influence. His mother suggested I network better. I thanked them. I took notes. When the toast began, I stepped closer to the stage. Not to interrupt, to wait. The groom's father raised his glass and praised the corporation, their future, their security. He spoke about legacy as if it were inherited, not built. I felt the room lean toward him. I took the microphone when it was offered out of habit. They assumed I wanted to congratulate the couple. I did, briefly. Then I spoke about ownership, about how power looks loud when it's borrowed, how real control is quiet, patient, and documented. I watched confusion ripple. I introduced myself properly. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I stated facts, dates, filings, transfers. I explained why the board would meet. Monday morning, why certain access cards would stop working by noon, why titles would revert to what they actually were. I watched faces drain of color. He tried to interrupt. I held his gaze and kept speaking. This was not a conversation. It was a conclusion. I handed the microphone back and returned to my place. My sister stared at me, stunned. I squeezed her hand. She would understand later. The groom didn't look at anyone. He was calculating exits that no longer existed. The fallout was swift. Quiet firings, legal notices, social silence. Their family's pride collapsed inward, frantic and directionless. I didn't gloat, I observed. Now, standing in the same room minutes later, I feel something loosen in my chest. Not joy, not anger, relief. Justice doesn't shout. It settles. I leave early. I always do. Outside, the night is cool and honest. I breathe. They thought power was something you wore to a party. I know better.